It is Friday, and this is Ampersand Island, and together we are Wild Stallions. Obviously, I'm kicking off right away. Toy of the day, something something Esquire, something something Logan. I haven't seen those movies in a while, and these ones are from the cartoons. Wild Stallions right here, and I heard they're making another one of these. This is probably the best Keanu Reeves figure ever made. And if they had made Lost Boy figures, this would be the second best figure of this actor's name ever made. I should know his name. I usually know a lot of random actors' names, but I don't know that dude, which is weird. My wife would be so disappointed. She'll be like, "You're not even a man. You don't know who that guy is?" The guy from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and The Lost Boys and anything? Bueller? Does anybody else know? I don't know. Today I'm making, I had to get obviously, so I'm slowly getting buddies in here and friends, but one I haven't covered yet is just taking me too long. I've been doing this for it feels like not long enough. No, forever. And I haven't covered my buddy Coti yet. And I thought, we always had this conversation because Coti and I worked, we first met working in Japan, teaching English. There's Japan again. And we thought someday we should disappear into the Japanese wilderness and just become like far rural area and just become weird, mythical Yeti creatures. These pale, hairy men, tall, hairy men that just are in the woods somewhere that have some sort of Hibagon. Hibagon, I looked up. There's a mountain called Mount Hibagon in outside of Hiroshima, and that's like their version of Bigfoot around Mount Hibagon. But I've read about it, and anytime I've mentioned it to a Japanese person, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So, but the internet told me, so it has to be true. So I'm going to make Coti like a Yeti, like a Y-E-T-I. So Coti, I'm just going to change the spelling to C-O-T-I, Coti. Maybe how a kid would spell the name Coti if they heard the name Coti. Yeah, so I'm just going to make a nice, actually this is going to look like a nice simple one. It's going to be a lot of green spaces. Even though a Yeti lives in the snow, so he'd be more like a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, but Coti and Yeti goes better. So I'll still make him white and a little ginger because Coti is a ginger ninja. I could have made him a ginger ninja. He doesn't strike me as the ninja type. So I'll, you know what I should do though? Because right now I think it's looking fine, but it's a little plain. It's just for a little piece of fun back here. I'm just going to make someone back here with a camera snapping his picture because he is the island mythical creature, the Coti. So he's like a sort of a offshoot of a Yeti. He is a Coti, not a Yeti. So that's why I'll just make him all orange. So he's like an evolved Darwin version to this island. He doesn't need to be white anymore, but for some reason he turned orange. I don't know. Kind of like blonde people turn blonder in the summer. So I'm just going to make a little photographer back here. I'll just say my buddy Joe is a photographer. We'll just say this is Joe. It looks just like him. Oh my gosh, you won't believe it. It looks just like Joe. You wouldn't. I just drew it just like that. It looks exactly like him. Ask any of the weddings he shoots, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that's Joe." All right, I guess I'll just I want to sketch something in, and then I'll be back on this. We'll ink it in. All right, let's just ink this in. I got Coti here. I'm gonna Coti, not Cody. And Coti has these very kind eyes. He's a kind eye guy. So I'm gonna just keep that there. And he's always got, I wonder if Coti has ever been a clean shaven. He must have been when I met him because he was like 16 or something. And he's just like, trudging through the wilderness. was trying to decide what kind of hairstyle I was going to go with Coti, because he's had a couple over the years. But I'll just go kind of longer hair Coti, because he's a hairy man. And I'm trying to think now, because I got Coti's stories. Now I'm just trying to think of Coti's stories I can tell. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Coti and I have been, I don't know, how many times did Coti and I go to Japan together? 1, 2, did we only go together twice? We'd spent one summer in Japan together, and then we went back for the company we work for, and we did one spring camp session. Oh, and we went back a third time, because we went back and I wrestled in Japan once, and he followed along, and it was kind of a whirlwind one, because I wrestled for Kyushu Pro Wrestling, the company I work for in Japan. And I'm just going to do like should I do 4 finger? I'll give him 4. Some people have been giving 4 fingers, and some, when it looks more aesthetically pleasing, I just do 3. I'll give him 4 fingers. Aren't you lucky? And, oh yeah, so I was over there to wrestle, and, so I wrestled one show for Kyushu Pro Wrestling and one for a big show in Tokyo at the Korakuen Hall, which is like, they call it like the Madison Square Garden of Japan, for this big televised event. But the first one I did was at the shopping mall during this holiday called Golden Week in Japan. It's like a week long of holidays kind of strung together. And we did this show, and they did it in the mall kind of court area. And I had to get dressed like way up in like where the security guys get dressed or whatever and take their breaks. So we had to like walk through the whole mall in our costumes, and which is fine. We call it the walk of shame when you got to walk around in your outfit. And wrestled this match, did a tag team match. It was really fun, went well. They had a good crowd, like the mall courtyard was full, so maybe like 300-400 people or something like that. And I was feeling really good about myself. And then found out that there was the New Japan Pro Wrestling, the biggest company in Japan, was holding a show in town at the same time nearby. So they had tickets, because one of the ring announcer was doing some legwork for them. So he's like, "Oh, do you want to go to the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we went over to that show, and then I realized I was feeling pretty good about myself. I had a little chip on my shoulder about my match, and like, oh, that went really well, and the crowd really liked that, and blah, blah, blah. And then we went to that show, and it was like thousands of people with like incredibly amazing athletes doing like ridiculous things. And I immediately was like, oh yeah, I guess it took me down. I was like, oh, in a good way. He was like, oh yeah, I'll come down off this cloud. I was not that good. And then the next day we were scrambling. We had to fly from Fukuoka into Tokyo to go do the televised show for a big event. And we were running a little late. It was really hot. We got lost. It was a holiday, so all the trains were busy. We decided to just hop in a cab and get there. And we were starving. We hadn't eaten, but we didn't have time. And it was like this great big scramble. And got there, and we made it in. And the show was really a lot of fun. Afterwards, then Coti and I realized we needed a hotel. We didn't have any place to stay yet. They were going to let us stay at the dojo, but they didn't have enough beds for both of us. So we were like, all right, we'll just go get a hotel. So we just went over and found this place called the Tokyo Green Hotel in Tokyo Dome City. And it was an old hotel, and it legitimately had like, I wish I could show you the picture. It was like Hobbit doors. The doors were so small to the hotel rooms I'd never seen, and I'd stayed a lot of places in Japan. I'd never seen anything like it. And we went out with some friends afterwards and had dinner because we were starving. Finally, we got to eat, and then got up in the morning, and we had to fly back the next day. It was like it was like a 7-day trip to Tokyo. We were just talking about it. We haven't been back in years, and we keep together. It's been 2 years since I've been back, but we keep saying, oh, we need to plan a trip. We need to go back, and we just need to make it back. But of course, it just keeps getting kicked down the road. We both got kids. We both work. We've got mortgages. We've got other things we have to pay for. So, all right, I'm going to put a little groundwork in here. But one day, Coti and I are going to dress up like Yeti, and we're going to vanish into the Japanese countryside. And this is what somebody will do. They'll take our picture, and we'll become legends. So, all right. I think, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to do something. Coti is I don't know if most I've ever seen Coti without a jersey for his favorite football guy. What's his name? Number 4. Brett Favre from the Packers. So I think maybe I should just put a 4 on his chest. Like we're gonna leave him the way God made him. We're gonna leave him naked. So we're gonna say that he like shaved a 4 into his chest because he's that big of a fan, and then it'll make it all kind of prickly. Oh, let's put one Band-Aid right here, like he cut himself. So he doesn't wear clothes, but he goes out of the way. He's a huge Brett Favre fan. I'm not really a sports fan, so it doesn't matter to me, because people go like, what, no Vikings rule or whatever, and I'm like, I don't really care. So it's important to Coti, it's important to me. So we're going to say that I'll make this all like skin colored underneath and kind of sensitive looking. So he shaves this 4 every day into his chest because he's just such a big fan. All right, let's go into turbo paint. All right, there he is. There's the Coti in all his glory. I kind of think he has like a little bit of almost like a Chuck Norris quality here now that I don't think Coti's going to quite mind, because he would like to have anything comparable there. So there he is, wandering through the wilderness. And I remembered, actually, just right behind me while I was doing this, I remembered, I got a pack of Harry and the Hendersons Topps cards from the new hit movie. And I thought, just real quickly, why don't we just go through this? And I just want to see, stick of gum, anyone? Anybody need a stick of gum? You let me know, because this was made in 1987. So, yeah, that was a good year for gum. All right, let's just go through these cards real quick. All right, he's alive. Whoa. That's right, because they hit him with the car, and they pulled him. Here he is napping, a boy and his Bigfoot. That's so sweet. Something fishy going on. He was very confused about that, obviously. Portrait of Harry. We started watching this with the kids a couple years ago, and they were instantly terrified, and we had to turn it off. Bigfoot Showdown. Oh, that's the guy that he's brawling with here. The guy that was the Bigfoot hunter. Oh, ooh, director William Deere. He's giving him inspiration, or he's going to punch him in the face. Daring. Sarah gets riled. Oh, that's right. She didn't put up with anything from Bigfoot. She shamed him. Care for a Bite with John Lithgow. And Le Fleur on the Trail. So, all right, cool. I thought I would just spin through those real quick, as long as I had them there. So, got some schmag on there. All right, so there it is. There is Coti trudging through the woods. The mysterious kind of like mythical creature. We went to Scotland and we looked for Bigfoot, or not Bigfoot. Oh, maybe we could have done that too, just to be ironic. But no, we were looking for the Loch Ness Monster. Maybe I should do a lake monster too in the lake. I'll do that on my Mythical Creatures series here as we continue. But as for right now, this is the Coti just roaming through the forest. And here's Joe back here just trying to capture proof. And somehow he's going to trip and fall after this and break his camera, and he's going to just keep getting foiled, of course, because that's how it goes. All right, I'll see you guys for the weekend. Bye-bye.